your Comedy Minute. I'm Scotty T. I have a wonderful, wonderful comedian. Stephen J. Springer is with me today. Stephen, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
No, an honor. Have
Yes,
you
to be
watched
on your
any of this
show.
crap? Have you watched any of this stuff?
Yeah, and I like it.
Stephen, you've been doing comedy for a long time. You said you started when? When did you start?
2008, but I was only doing a part-time on and off until a few years ago, till like 2020. So
Okay.
I've only, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, in other words, I get it. Well, let's start from the beginning. You're in Chicago.
Yes.
Were you born and raised in Chicago?
Yes, but ironically, I started my comedy career in Indianapolis. I lived there for a couple of years, and I started there, and then I brought it
Okay.
back to Chicago.
I guess the next question is, are you a Bears fan?
Yes.
Are you?
I have to be. I live here.
Yeah, they're making a big fuss about that new quarterback he got.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I would love nothing more than to see the Bears do well. I
Last time they did
also,
was 86.
yeah, well, I'm an Eagles fan. I waited a long time for a Super Bowl.
Mm.
I want to start because I saw this on Facebook and I didn't know it. You are the 2023 winner of the Mr. Potato Head lookalike contest. Is that right?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had such a contest.
Well,
Did you have to enter? Did you have to send in a picture?
yep. And they said I looked just like him, but the only thing is they turned him gender neutral. He's just potato head now. That's not a problem for me. The problem is I'm not cutting my spud off for anybody.
I tell you, it's rough. Which leads me to the next thing that I wrote down. I wrote a whole batch of stuff down, Stephen. I got a lot of stuff. Your idol, at least what I heard, was Rodney Dangerfield.
Yep. He's what made me want to get into stand-up comedy.
Okay. Did you ever meet Rodney?
No, I didn't have the pleasure, but I was to his club in New York City,
Okay.
Dangerfield's. I could feel his spirit all through the club.
Well, I have 2 points. Number one, I met Rodney Dangerfield, which that in its own right was, there's plenty you could go see the story. But Tom Padovano, have you ever heard of a guy named Tom Padovano?
Yeah, I know him. We're part of the same Zoom joke writing group.
Okay, well, Tom, you probably know it then. He actually sold jokes to Rodney.
I think I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
I'm so blessed to have veteran comedians on like yourself that just love comedy and love because I'm like you, Rodney Dangerfield, Henny Youngman, that's the kind of comedians I grew up on.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, I don't want to get in a rant. You have the whole TikTok, Instagram, and you have the stand-up
Right.
comedians, and that's just the way it is.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, I said hopefully there'll be a comeback for people like Rodney and Henny.
Well, people like you, people like me, that
Yeah.
just like comedy and like to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I do
There's a
jokes
few of us.
sometimes. I do jokes sometimes, honestly, Stephen, that I just think are gold, and they totally are just they don't.
Is it in front of young people or old people?
Yeah, no, young kids. In other words, a joke on YouTube will do one thing, a joke on Instagram will do another, a joke on different platforms do different things.
Well, I think age means a lot too. I mean, younger audiences sometimes don't get us older people. I mean, I'm talking about the people in their 20s.
You think, Stephen, you think. Well, speaking of which, let's move on. Producer of the Early Bird Special Comedy Showcase at the Laugh Factory, and I think it's called the Geezers of Comedy.
Well, the official name of the club is the Early Bird Special, but I nicknamed it Geezer so people wouldn't be more aware of what they're getting. So I wasn't sure that Early Bird Special would. A lot of times people didn't understand what the show was, but
Yeah,
basically older comedians, 55 and up.
Does it start at like 5 in the afternoon? When does it start?
7 p.m.
I'm kidding. I'm just messing
Yeah.
with you, Steven.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rally you up a little bit. Well, go ahead and do, if you don't mind. You know, I don't want to put you under pressure. Do you want to do a few minutes of your bit?
Well, I did one of them already. Well, yeah, I can.
Yeah,
You
just
cut me
rant a
off
little
when you're
bit.
ready.
Go on a little
Huh?
rant. Go on a little rant. Don't matter to me.
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm the 2023 runner-up in the Mr. Potato Look Like contest. I've also been told I look like Homer Simpson and Shrek. How ironic, looking like all these cartoon characters, that my dad turns out to be a plastic surgeon. I'd say he was a good one. When I was a kid, he would never spank me. He was that cool. He would just punch me in the nose to practice his reconstructive surgery and use me for his before pictures. Specialty was breast enlargements. Mine are real. Yeah, it's up here.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. You're killing me. Oh, I love your humor. What's your shirt say? Stand up comedy. Tell me the whole thing.
Stand-up comedy is not my hobby. It's a calling.
Yeah.
And
So
it sums it up.
you feel that in your heart, Stephen.
Yep, I eat, breathe, and sleep it.
You know, it's funny you would use that expression. And for people that are just watching this, that Steve and I have never met, other than what, 5 minutes ago or so. We've never met.
Right.
So you probably don't know that I worked in the music business.
No, I didn't know that.
And Clive Davis from Arista Records.
I know him.
Okay, do you really know Clive?
Not personally, but I mean, I know who he is very well.
I have a picture with Clive on my Facebook page. You can look at it.
Okay.
And I was singles coordinator for BMG. That was the distribution company of Arista Records. And they actually wanted me to become over to do their singles for Arista. And I interviewed, and he mentioned that he eats, sleep, live, breathe music.
Yep, you have to get good at it.
Yeah, I go on a little rant about that because people in the, oh, I want to sing. It's in my blood. Well, get a transfusion. I've heard you sing. There's lots of people that want to do something, but you have to have drive and desire. Drive and desire is the whole key.
Yeah, but you can take it too far, like I think I do. I mean, I think I get on people's nerves because all I'm doing is thinking about jokes, and all the time I'm always on as far as writing and coming up with ideas.
Yeah, that's a problem I've had in my life too, Stephen. Particularly with women, where they always say, "You always have to go for the joke. You always have to go for the joke." And I do. I always go for the joke.
Yeah.
It's cost me a lot of relationships.
Yeah. Well, you got to find someone that maybe another comedian or something.
I got to find someone
I understand
that doesn't like normal. Somebody that doesn't like normal. Somebody likes abnormal. No, I love
funny
to
you
laugh.
mentioned.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Steve.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, we got the music thing in common because I have a bit about when I grew up.
Go ahead.
I was a group.
Go ahead.
I was a groupie. I met all these rock groups. I'd hang out at their hotels and.
Right. Your sound dropped out, Stephen.
I used to stalk these guys.
No. Go back. I'll cut it out. We'll redo it.
Okay.
So you said, Stephen, that you and I have the music business in common.
Right. I used to be a groupie.
Okay.
No, I didn't sleep with these rock stars. Not that they would let me, but I would follow them around to their hotels and get autographs.
Right.
Not today. They call that stalking. The highlight of my stalking career was meeting Steven Tyler of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
For the second time, he comes out of his hotel, comes up to me, says, "You again?" Then he took me to the show in his limo because he didn't think I had tickets and he didn't want me to miss the show. Now they call that kidnapping.
You do a lot about kidnapping. I've watched a couple of your bits.
Thanks. Which ones?
Oh, kidnapping. I remember hearing kidnapping before.
But well, thanks. Thanks for watching.
Well, sure. I like to try and prepare a little bit for the person that's coming on. So you made it clear that you want to do this for the rest of your life.
Yep, I consider it like being in the mafia. You don't get out alive.
Are you okay? The next question, and I think, I touched on it. You have your stand-up comedians and you have your YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Do you have a YouTube? In other words, I know Facebook. Do you have an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube channel, any of that?
I have all of the Facebook. It's Stephen J. Springer, and
Okay.
then the Instagram. It's Stephen J. Springer, all one word.
Okay.
Then YouTube, I think it's I'm under Stephen J. Springer also, but I think it's Stephen J. Springer one. You just
Okay.
type in my name, you'll find a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. No, I'll get the links and I'll put them all on because I think that's part of, in other words, whether you're in Chicago or if you're going to start traveling, or are you traveling now? Do you travel to other places?
Oh yeah, every all over the country. When we go on vacation, I always make sure I get a gig somewhere, like
Yeah,
Philadelphia,
yeah,
New York, Atlanta,
yeah.
St.
You
Louis.
have, yeah. Now that you mention it, you are traveling.
Yep. And yeah, so far just in the country, but I was just in Dallas last month, Dallas Comedy Club.
Do you find it different from room to room?
Yeah, kind of different. Yeah, depends on the age. I think I do good everywhere, but mostly older people closer to my age get my stuff more
Right.
than the
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that more and more. The younger the crowd, you have to you have to dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah, different references.
Yeah. Um, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite place that you like to play?
Well, probably in Chicago. I'm kind of biased. I'd have to say Laugh Factory because I have a show there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also Zanies.
Zanies. Yeah, you have a clip on. I saw that clip on YouTube from Zanies, but that was like 2009. That was an early clip.
Oh, really? That's still up there?
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't know
why I
that.
looked. I looked for your YouTube channel. I did a search, and you're right. I found all kinds of stuff, but I couldn't find your actual channel to see
I'm
more of
embarrassed.
your current live stuff.
Oh, you don't? You didn't see the current live stuff, or you did?
No, I did not. No, and that's like I said, that's where I'm trying to help. Not only am I grateful to have you here, but to try and help folks figure out uh that whole YouTube, how
Do you
to
want me to send you a
maximize
link?
that.
Do you want me to send you a link? Because I have
No,
a
you
lot
don't
of
need to
this.
send me anything. I can find it. But like for instance, on your Facebook page where you have, put your YouTube link there, put stuff to try and, in other
Yeah,
words, I direct everybody to my YouTube page. I don't want to get into all that because we're trying to do comedy, but yeah, there's a
I
lot of,
appreciate that. I get what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, if you funnel everything to one area, be it YouTube or whatever, then you maximize when you go to the clubs. And I don't know, do you sell any merchandise or anything? Because then you sell more shirts, all that.
Right. Not yet. I'm working on. I have some ideas, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm thinking about someone with Mr. Potato Head or someone with a jail.
Yeah, because I didn't even touch on that. That's a great point, Stephen. I'm glad you mentioned it. The reason that you got into comedy, at least because I watched part of an interview with you, years ago, was because you worked at a jail. Is that right?
Yes, Cook County Jail here in Chicago.
Cook County Jail in Chicago. You worked at the jail.
Yes, I was a correctional officer.
Okay. Boy, I bet you there's lots of stories there. Can you do one? Can you do one? Your favorite correctional story?
Yeah, I was in the psych ward, believe it or not.
Yeah, there you go.
Wealth of comedy material. I was sitting at my desk on the living unit. I hear an argument in the washroom or in the shower. I go to break it up. There's one guy with two different voices arguing with himself. So I let him beat the hell out of himself.
Okay. All right. Can you do one more? Do one because I love shit like that. I love shit like that.
Okay. When I come out, I Oh yeah, here no here. Let's see. Here's one. Oh yeah, you don't see too many naive Jewish guys from the suburbs in the county jail on either side of the fence. Not a lot of circumcised fellows in the shower there. Not that I would look. No, we Jews, when we go to jail, we go to the federal penitentiary for what yarmulke crimes, like bank fraud, money laundering, marrying a shiksa. Shiksa is a non-Jewish woman that Jewish guys use to piss off their mom.
And for people that don't understand what I brought up, Stephen, worked there at Cook County Jail in Chicago, and you told these stories. I probably should let you tell it, but you told these stories to your friends, and that's what they said. Man, you're so funny, right?
Yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah. I got fired from my job for telling jokes, and that's how your Comedy Minute started. That's true. That's true. I'm making up that good. I'm actually, at the time I was really upset, but now I'm actually grateful. I'm able to enjoy the last part of my life, whatever's left of it, to, have fun and hear people's, great stories like that one, that first one, guy talking to himself. Schizophrenic.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get hurt.
For those of you scoring at home, he was by himself, arguing with himself. That's funny as hell, Stephen. Do you have another couple of bits you want to run through real quick before we get to your Comedy Minute?
Let's see.
Anything you got? Anything you got? Couple of your favorite bits. You've been doing it a long time. Give us a couple of your favorite bits.
Oh yeah. Even though after 4 years of marriage,
right,
I still call my wife by her pet name that I gave her when we met.
Yeah,
it's Angel. She loved it till she found out that was also the name of my same name as my ex-wife. Now she calls me by her ex's name, Richard. I guess that makes me a dick. That's it.
That's it.
Well, I got more if you want it.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Keep going.
My wife and I now, after 4 years, still get along great, except for one issue.
Yeah.
She's got this male friend who claims he's gay.
Right.
But I don't believe him. I think he's faking it just to get up with my wife.
Yeah.
Like an undercover hetero. His name's Mark.
Yeah.
Which ironically, my nickname in high school was Skid Mark. She wanted a man around to do sophisticated things with, like go to the art gallery and ballet.
Yeah.
Well, I stay home and watch WrestleMania. I asked my wife, "Are you sure Mark's really gay?" She said, "I'm not sure, but his boyfriend definitely is." And I'm afraid if Mark turns out to really be straight, that my wife will convert him.
Yeah.
And my wife assures me she's never thought about Mark that way. I'm like, really? I constantly think about Mark that way. Does that make me gay? I've heard of guys come out of the closet, but I'm afraid in this case, when I come home from work unexpectedly, my wife will be in bed and my Mark will be hiding in my closet.
My girlfriend's homophobic.
Really?
Yeah, she was so upset when I introduced her to my boyfriend. There you go. Yeah, I was holding that one up because you just are on a roll there. I tell you what, you got great stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you really are, and I never know, because when I do these with a comedian, I don't know when they're telling the truth and when they're not. You really are married, though.
Yes, I am. And she really does have a friend named Mark that is gay. The joke started because I used to tease her that, hey, you spend a lot of time with him. He maybe has ulterior motives.
And I won't keep you too long, but you touched on something there that I think the best comedy comes from real, your wife, her friend Mark, real stuff that happens.
Yep. I mean, I couldn't make this stuff up. They say truth
Yeah.
is stranger than fiction.
I did one of these recently where I think it's actually going to air tonight because I was watching it. Where one of my favorite bits I've done lately was when I was on the phone with Comcast or DirecTV or one of them. The night before, and the next day I got up and shot the video of it. It's only a minute and a half long or something, but I went on a rant about how representative. I kept trying to get somebody on the phone. If you've ever been through that, my God, it was so frustrating.
Yeah, and that's what comedy is. It's real stuff. Exaggerated though.
Oh yeah. But I was like, the irony was I was like that night. I was yelling because if you've ever been in that, you keep hitting 0. Welcome to the main menu. Main menu. Goddamn main menu. Screw it. Representative. Oh, I was going off. My temper gets flaring like a pack of hemorrhoids. I'm telling you.
Well, you're in New York, right?
I'm in York.
York, Pennsylvania?
York, Pennsylvania, where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
How far is it from Philadelphia?
A couple hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. I lived in Philadelphia for many years.
I go to Philly a lot to see a comedian friend of mine out there. So
what's his name?
Steve Rinaldi, do you know?
Steve Rinaldi, we'll mention him. We'll mention him on the write-up.
Thanks.
Yeah. If there's anybody else that you want to mention or anything else that you want to mention, let's get to it because I want to get your comedy minute and we'll let you get some breakfast or something.
Yeah, how'd you know I work nights? This is morning for me. My day job.
Yeah. Hey, you eat, sleep, live, and breathe comedy.
Yep, that's why I work my day job at night.
Okay.
I work overnights where I don't do anything all night, but write my jokes and practice in front of a life-size mirror.
Yeah.
Life-size mirror.
I met last night, the guy that aired last night, he does it to a chair. He does his bit to a chair. And I messed with him. I said, did the chair like it? How did the chair receive it?
You wanted me to mention some comedians?
Go ahead. Do a shout out to everybody you want to shout out, and we'll make sure that we mention them in the description. I'll hashtag all their names.
Okay, you want comedians that'll help me, right?
Any shows that you have coming up or anything you want to mention where you're going, get through all that.
Okay, comedians that influence me locally that I'm friendly with is Bill Gorgo, Gorgo, Anthony Bonazzo, and Paul Farver. And I got my show at the Early Bird Special. Geezers is every third Sunday of every month. Yeah. The Laugh Factory at 7 p.m. on a Sunday.
Right.
And I got one May 19th with an all-star lineup. Marilyn Mitchell, Leon Rogers, Tony Schofield, Henry Spoon, Diane Corder. And I got a lot of shows coming up. I got a website, StephenJSpringer.com.
Okay, I'll list that. And all of those guys that you just mentioned, tell them I want them on the show. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, mention it to them. If they want to come on, I'd love to have them. Each and every one of them.
Thanks.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
All right, I'll send them your name, right?
You just give my face. Best thing to do is give my YouTube channel because all my links are there. That's the way I do it because I steer everybody to YouTube. That's where I get money. No, it's not about the. I steer them all there because all my links are there. Facebook, Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I'll never do TikTok. My Twitter or X, everything's there. My email's there. Tell them to go to my YouTube channel. If you have it, I know I gave it to you. Right. But look, enough of that. Let's, if you don't mind, and this part always bothers people. But Steven Springer, do you have your comedy minute?
A comedy minute bit? Oh no, I remember. No, I'm sorry. I just woke up. I'm not all here.
I swear to God, I'm gonna kill people. I swear to God.
No, you talk about Steven. A minute where I talk about
anything, Steven. This is your time.
Okay. my first time I got hired
Right.
was the Jokes and Notes on the South Side,
Right.
and it's an African American club, and I
Right.
appreciated being the first, being a white guy getting hired there.
Right.
Larry Lindsay was the first one to ever give me a chance,
Okay.
and I did pretty well.
Okay.
And
That's it.
yeah, and actually in that same year I got my second pro gig too at Milwaukee Comedy Cafe.
Okay.
And rest is history.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? We'll take that one. But do you have a funny story that made you laugh, or a bit that makes you laugh? Something that when you think about it, it can be a friend falling over, somebody pooping, or anything that makes that you think, oh my God, I'll never forget that.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. Go ahead, do that one.
Okay, I got a job in a nightclub back in college.
Right?
I always wanted to work on a club because I figured I'd meet women.
Yeah.
I was young and
Yeah.
handsome back then.
Right?
Okay, I was young.
Yeah.
Halfway into the first week, I realized something was different. There were no
Oh,
ladies there. Just one straight white guy, me. And I missed all the clues. I was so naive back then. Name of the bar was called the Black Stallion.
right.
And the work shirt they gave me was the nipple cut off at the nipples. And the uniform pants were leather chaps, no ass. And I got more phone numbers there from the fellas than I ever did from the ladies. Attention was flattering. It almost made me wish I was gay. Now I'm starting to wonder.
See,
Yeah.
now that is a comedy minute. That is comedy gold. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's great.
That's true.
Is it true? Oh my
Yeah. Well, it didn't take me a whole week. It took me a shift to realize that I was the only straight white guy in the place.
God. That's
And I don't have a problem with anything. I just, it's not the place to meet women,
no.
real women.
I'm still trying to get over your uniform. Oh, Steven, you've been wonderful, man. You've been wonderful. Did you have a good
Thanks.
time?
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you so much again.
Oh, well, listen, hang tight for a second. I'm going to stop the recording here in a minute, but I'll tell you what, that is what your comedy minute's about, really.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in other words, people always get hung up. First off, we get hung up on whether it's a minute or not, but no, just something that, I have lots of them. Whether it's a TV clip or a movie, I always tell people, Letterman, if you're a Letterman fan, Letterman had a thing with the monkeys. These two live monkeys came on, and man, that is, to me, I watched that and I just love it. That was some of my favorite stuff. But yeah, I just love. I think that's what I'm always searching for, is for people to tell me, something that. And that, my God, I can't believe you told me that story.
And I have to be careful how I tell it, because sometimes it comes off offensive, and I don't want anybody to be offended.
You're all right. You're all right. Trust me. All right, hang on. I'm going to stop the recording. We're going to talk a little minute off the air.
All right, thanks.